I wanted to make a video showing my homeschool kindergarten plans. I always start kindergarten the Monday after my child's 5th birthday. I don't base it on the normal school calendar year because we homeschool all year round, which means if my son turns 5 in June, we start in June and we go throughout the whole year. We take a week off here and there for certain occasions, but most of the time we're just continuing to move forward. The biggest priority for kindergarten is learning how to read fluently and to begin writing letters. I don't worry about math, science, or history at all because it just dilutes our time that we can spend with our reading and writing. I use more than one phonics program because they reinforce each other without moving too quickly. Kind of gives me that double foundation to make sure it's overlearned. I use the Memoria Press kindergarten for the phonics and reading part and schedule. I don't worry about their math. I also use Explode the Code for extra practice. I don't do any formal math until 1st grade. Sometimes we do a little thing like Dreambox or online math games, but we don't do any formal workbook curriculum in kindergarten at all. We are accelerated in our homeschool schedule, and we start high school around 10 years old and college between 12 to 14 depending on the kid and how well they're progressing, because I don't want to rush them through and frustrate them. But if they're doing really well, then we'll start college around 12. If they're struggling a little bit more, then we'll start around 14. That being said, there is no big accelerated rush during kindergarten because it is important to lay a strong foundation that can be built upon later. Acceleration cannot pick up pace until the skills are in place. In addition to phonics, we put a lot of emphasis on read aloud books to not only train the ear and vocabulary of our young ones, but to establish a love for literature that will reap benefits for years to come. We read several different books during kindergarten. We focus on Winnie the Pooh, Beatrix Potter, poems, fairy tales, plus some other read alouds such as The Little House, Blueberries for Sal, Make Way for Ducklings, The Little Engine That Could, Story of Ferdinand, and Miss Rumphius. When starting kindergarten, you need to decide what your long-term goals are. Do you want to eventually accelerate high school and early college? If so, now is the time to build for that solid foundation. Don't stress about content. It is the skills that are most important. You can use completely different curriculum than I did, and you can get the exact same results. Basically, if your child is reading fluently at the end of kindergarten, you achieved your goal. Find what works best for you and your child. On the side here, I wanted to share some of my favorite homeschooling books to kind of share what my methodology is. My first favorite is No Regrets: How Homeschooling Earned Me a Master's Degree at age 16. This book totally inspired me to accelerate homeschooling for my kids. Yeah, she's a little bit outdated. That's an 80s hairdo right there, but her mother was able to accelerate 10 children, and if she can do it with 10, then I can do it with my 6 kids. While I'm not shooting for master's degrees by age 16, we are shooting for a bachelor's degree right around the age 16. I think that is a really fun goal to shoot towards, and we are having a lot of fun doing that. Another great book is The Well-Trained Mind. It has a lot of great curriculum ideas, and it kind of helps me gauge where I want to be as far as a classical education. I have learned so much from reading this book. And also, last but not least, is the Lantern-centered curriculum. This taught me that it is okay to do less diversity of choices and focus on a few most important things and go really in depth with them. This is the video, and this is what we're doing for kindergarten. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments section.